Good afternoon, everyone. Let us start. Remember, we have been learning Chapter 12, Geographical Perspective on Selected Issues and Problems. Today, we shall discuss a new issue, that is rural-urban migration. Now I will present my screen. Rural to urban migration or rural-urban migration. So I think you may be seeing this photograph showing a movement of people from rural areas to these cities and towns. So because of this, we have got problems in the big cities. Now let us read rural-urban migration. Population flow from rural to urban areas is caused by many factors. This we have already learned. Why do people move from rural areas to urban areas? Okay, this flow of people from rural to urban areas is caused by many factors. So those factors are high demand for this labor in urban areas, loss of opportunities in rural areas, and unbalanced pattern of development between urban and rural areas. Okay, the movement of people from rural areas to the urban areas may be because of different factors like high demand for labor in the urban areas. Then there may be low job opportunities in the villages, and there is unbalanced pattern of development between the urban and rural areas. That means more facilities are found in the urban areas as compared to the rural areas. That is, regional imbalance is there. And in India, this population in cities is rapidly increasing. Okay, population mainly in the big cities is rapidly increasing, and due to low opportunities in the smaller and the medium cities, the poor people are generally bypass these small cities and directly come to the mega cities for their livelihood. Since the smaller cities and towns have less facilities, okay, smaller and medium cities have less facilities of these job and employment and other facilities. The poor people from the villages bypass these small and medium sized cities, and they directly go to the mega cities for their livelihood, and it creates a problem in the mega cities of India. So here we have a case study given below to have better understanding of this rural to urban migration problem. And so you may read it carefully and try to comprehend the process of this rural urban migration. So here is the case study, and now let us read. Okay, but our main focus will be on the comment, okay, on the conclusion. So let us read the story. Ramesh has been working in contract as a welder in construction site in Talcher, that is coal region of Orissa, for the last 2 years. Okay, Ramesh has been working in contract as a welder on construction site in Talcher. Talcher is a coal region, okay, coal mining area in Orissa for the last 2 years. Do you know who is a welder? And here see this is the work of welding, okay, and he is the welder. This is just an example, okay, welding work, and the man is known as welder. The work is known as welding work. And he moved with contractors to various places like Surat, Mumbai, Gandhinagar, Bharuch, Jamnagar, and so on. So Ramesh moved with the contractor to various places, okay, and he remit rupees 2,000 per year to his father in his native village. So he get 20,000, okay, means he is sending rupees 20,000 to his father living in his native village, and the remittances have been mainly used, okay, the amount of money sent by him is mainly used for daily consumption, then healthcare, schooling of children, etc. Part of money is also used in agriculture, then purchasing of land and the building of houses, etc. The standard of living of Ramesh's family improved significantly. Okay, so because of this migration, the standard of living of Ramesh's family improved significantly. That means cities provide more opportunities than the villages. So 15 years ago, the situation was not the same. Okay, 15 years ago, the situation was not the same. The family was passing through very tough times, and 3 of the brothers and their families had to survive on 3 acres of land. The family was highly in debt, and Ramesh had to discontinue his studies after 9th standard, and he was further hard pressed when he got married. So simultaneously, he was also impressed by some successful out migrants of his village who have been working in Ludhiana and supporting their families in village by sending money and some consumer goods. So Ramesh was impressed by some successful out migrants from his village who had been working in Ludhiana in Punjab, okay, supporting their families in the village by sending remittances and some consumer goods, and thus, due to abject poverty in the family and perceived job promises at Ludhiana, he made a move to Punjab with his friend, and he worked there in a woolen factory for 6 months at the rate of only rupees 20 per day in 1988. Means the rate of wage very low, okay, only 20 rupees per day. And apart from the crisis of managing his personal expenditure from this meager income, he was also facing difficulty in assimilating to the new culture and the environment. So this was the problem faced by him in Ludhiana, okay, that the amount of this money, the daily wage is very low, and because of that there was a crisis of managing his personal expenditure from that 20 rupees per day, and he was also facing difficulty in adapting to the new culture and the environment in Ludhiana. Then he decided to change his place of work from Ludhiana to Surat under the guidance of his friend, and there he learned the skills of welding in Surat, and after that he has been moving to different places with the same contractor. Though the economic condition of Ramesh's family at village improved, he is bearing the pain of separation with his near and dear ones. He cannot see them with him, as a job is temporary and transferable. Again, it tells these problems of this rural to urban migration. Okay, the problem faced by the migrants. Because of the migration, the economic condition, the standard of living of Ramesh family is improved, but again he is bearing some pain of separation of his wife, then children, and his families. Okay, father, mother. So he cannot bring his family to his place because his job is temporary and transferable. Okay, can be changed frequently, and that is why he cannot he cannot ship all the family members to his workplace. So here, what is the comment? What is the conclusion? What is the main idea learned from the story? So it is here, in developing countries, okay, in developing countries, poor, semi-illiterate and unskilled like Ramesh migrating from rural areas frequently end up performing manual job, means manual labor, okay, work done by hand, at low wages in informal sector in urban areas. That means informal means temporary, okay, and not organized. And since wages are very low to support the family at the place of destination, the spouses, that is wives, are left behind in rural areas to look after children and elderly people. Thus, rural-urban migration stream is dominated by males in developing countries like India. Okay, just we discussed earlier that the amount of money earned in the big cities is meager, okay, comparatively low, and most of the work are manual jobs, and their works are also not organized and temporary, and that is why they cannot ship their family to the workplace, so they have to leave their wife and children in their native village. And that is why in case of India, these males are dominated in the rural to urban migration stream. So any question from your side? Any question? Actually here it is very simple, okay. You may read this case study. Simply this is a story of a man called Ramesh, and you may read it and comprehend it, but see here you have to read the comment very carefully, okay. This section is very important. The conclusion, the comment is very important. And next we have these problems of slums, okay. This we have learned in book, this in your textbook, Fundamentals of Human Geography, okay, in chapter 10. And now what are the problems of slums in India? Let us read. Before we proceed, so here in the box some important information is given, okay. So let us read. At present, 47% of the world's 6 billion population lives in cities, and more will join in the near future. Okay, at present 47% of the world population are living in the cities. Total number of world population is around 6 billion. Out of 6 billion, 47% are in the cities. By 2050, an estimated 2/3 of world population will live in urban areas, imposing even more pressure on the space infrastructure than resources of cities, which are manifested in terms of sanitary, health, crime problems, and urban poverty. That means the problems in the big cities will be increasing day by day. By 2050, 2/3 of the world population will be living in the urban areas. Urban population grows as a result of natural increase. Okay, natural increase means when the birth rate exceeds the death rate. And net in migration, that means when people move then out. And sometimes reclassification of urban areas to encompass formerly rural population settlements. So urban population grows because of three important factors. The first one is natural increase, the second one is net in migration, and the third one is reclassification. Okay, natural increase means when the birth rate is exceeding the death rate. When the birth rate is more than the death rate, then there is growth. Then net in migration, that means when people move into the cities then out. Okay, then reclassification, sometimes some areas are classified or reclassified, okay, to encompass as urban areas. Formerly those settlements may recognize, may be designated as rural, but due to new definition, okay, say more settlement may be classified as urban. So that is why this urban population has been growing in the world. Now let us go to the problems of slums. So what are slums? So it is here, okay. Here problems of slums are given here. See, these are the, here in these lines you will find the facilities provided by the big cities on the one side, and okay, on the other side we have the problems of slums. Let us read. At the top there are farmhouses, okay, then high income group localities characterized by well-developed urban infrastructures like wide roads, street light, water and sanitation facilities, lawns, well-developed green belt, parks, playgrounds, and provisions for individual security and a right to privacy. So these are the different facilities provided by the urban areas. Okay, see, say at the top, the urban areas, okay, have these farmhouses, high-income group localities, okay. These characterized by well-developed urban infrastructures like very wide road, street light, water and sanitation facilities, lawns, well-developed green belts, gardens, park, playgrounds, and provision for individual security and right to privacy. On the other extreme, okay, in the big cities, of it are the slums or the jhuggi-jhoparis, clusters and colonies of shanty structures. So on the extreme, on the other extreme, we have the slums, what we call jhuggi-jhopari in local parlance. Okay, so these are the shanty colonies, and these are inhabited. These slums are inhabited by those people who were forced to migrate from rural areas to these urban centers in search of livelihood, but could not afford proper housing due to high rent and high cost of land, and they occupy environmentally incompatible and degraded areas. Okay, so slums are occupied by these migrants from the rural areas to urban areas, and so they migrated in search of livelihood, in search of jobs, but could not afford proper housing due to high rent and high cost of land in the big cities. Okay, I think you may be familiar with the slums also here. So this is a photograph showing slum C, the condition living by them, okay, the standard of living, condition of the houses, okay, the C. And you may be seeing another one also. See, this is another photograph of slum. Okay, So slums are residential areas of the least choice, then dilapidated houses, poor hygienic condition, poor ventilation, lack of basic amenities like drinking water, light, and toilet facilities. So this is the definition of slum, as well as it tells the problem of slums. Okay, slums are residential areas of least choice, means least opportunities. Dilapidated houses, dilapidated means this in a deplorable condition, okay, broken down. Then these poor hygienic condition, then poor ventilation facility, the houses have poor ventilators, then lack of basic amenities like drinking water, light, toilet facilities, okay. Open defecation, then unregulated drainage system, overcrowded, narrow street pattern, serious health and socio-environmental hazards in the slum areas. Okay, in the slum areas, defecation is done on the side of the road. Then there is unregulated drainage system. Okay, this gray water is not drained properly. Then overcrowding is there in the narrow, and we have these narrow street patterns. All these causes very serious health and socio-environmental these hazards. Okay, so this tells the problems of slums in the big cities. Moreover, most of the slum population works in low-paid, high-risk-prone, unorganized sectors of urban economy. Okay, the slum population also works in low-paid, that we have learned earlier about Ramesh also. Okay, just recall the story of Ramesh. Then their work is also manual, high-risk-prone, then unorganized sector, transferable, okay, frequently, okay, and consequently these slum dwellers are undernourished. Okay, the children and the slum dwellers are undernourished, prone to different types of diseases and illness, and cannot afford to give proper education to their children. So this is another problem of slum dwellers. Okay, and poverty makes them vulnerable to this drug abuse, alcoholism, crime, vandalism, escapism, apathy, ultimately social exclusion. So these are the different problems, psychological problems of slum dwellers. So because of poverty, okay, because of poverty, the slum dwellers are vulnerable to drug abuse. Okay, then this alcoholism, may indulge to alcoholism, then crime, then vandalism. Vandalism means this deliberate destruction of public or other people's property. Then escapism. What is escapism? So it is an inclination to retreat from unpleasant realities, okay, through diversion or fantasy. Always try to incline, okay, always try to avoid. Then apathy. Apathy here means absence of this emotion or enthusiasm, and ultimately will lead to social exclusion. So exclusion means the state of being excluded, that is a deliberate act of omission, okay, a deliberate act of omission. So these are the different problems of slum dwellers in India. Okay, and here we have a case study of a slum, okay, Dharavi, Asia's largest slum, Dharavi. So where is Dharavi? Here, okay, see here. So this map shows the location of Dharavi. Okay, here, this red dot shows location of Dharavi. Okay, and here this is the area of the slum. Okay, and Okay, this is the Google map, okay, showing the area of the slum. And here this is also this area, okay, this area is the slum area. Actually, see, here we shall concentrate mainly on this role of the Dharavi in creation of wealth of Bombay. Okay, so let us read. Dharavi was an arm of the sea that was filled by wash, largely produced by people who have come here scheduled castes, than poor Muslims. It comprises rambling buildings of corrugated metal, 20 meters high in places, used in the treatment of height and tanning. And these are pleasant parts. There are also pleasant parts, but rotting garbage is everywhere. I think one photograph is also here. This is the scene of Dharavi, and here also we have the scene of Dharavi. Okay, so here, so this is the scene of Dharavi from above. Then what is inside the Dharavi? See here, this is the condition of living, okay, inside the Dharavi. See, it is no sunlight, totally wet, and see the condition of living. So this is about Dharavi. And here, okay, so let us read. You must know that, see here we have a lot of problems in the slum, but slums also, okay, creating wealth to the big cities. How is it? Let us see. First, let us read the problems, okay, of the slum. See here what is going on in Dharavi. So buses merely skirt the periphery. Buses rarely run the periphery of Dharavi. Auto resource cannot go there. Dharavi is the part of central Mumbai where three-wheelers are banned because of the narrow street, okay. And the one-man road traverses the slum. The miscalled 90-foot road, which has been reduced to less than half of that for most of its length. Some of the side alleys means absence of a narrow street, okay, with walls on both sides. Alleys means a narrow street with walls on both sides, and the lanes are so narrow that cannot even a bicycle can pass. Okay, this 90-foot road. See here, this is the 90-foot road, okay. And actually 90-feet road means the width of the road is 90 feet, but it has been reduced to half or less than half because of encroachment. Okay, and this is the only main road passing through Dharavi. And the whole neighborhood consists of, I think you have seen the picture also, the whole scene neighborhood consists of temporary building 2 or 3 story high with rusty iron stairways to the upper part, where a single room is rented by a whole family, sometimes accommodating 12 or more people in a single room. And it is a kind of tropical version of industrial dwellings of Victorian London East End. Okay, now let us read these bright sides. Okay, see here, Dharavi. We have learned the problems of Dharavi, okay, but we have the bright sides also. Dharavi is a keeper of more somber secrets than the revulsion it inspires in the rich. What does it mean? Somber means this lacking brightness, or this dull in color or gloomy in character. But here somber secret means hidden secrets. Okay, hidden secrets. Then revulsion means the horror. So here in the Dharavi we have so many hidden secrets in spite of this revulsion. Okay, in spite of the horrors or the intense feeling of dislikes of the slum, we have hidden secrets, we have bright areas. Okay, that means see, this Dharavi is playing a great role, okay, in creating the wealth of Bombay, that is in creating the wealth of Mumbai. So let us read. So in this place of shadowless, treeless sunlight, uncollected garbage that you have seen, stagnant pools of foul water where only non-human creatures are the shining black crows and long grey rats, some of the most beautiful, valuable and useful articles in India are made. Some of the most beautiful, valuable and useful articles in India are made in Dharavi. From Dharavi, some delicate ceramics and pottery, exquisite embroidery and jari work. So jari work means actually jari, here it is, jari work is an intricate art of weaving threads made of fine gold or silver. Jari means thread of fine gold or silver. Okay, and these threads are further woven into fabrics as primarily made of silk. So that is called jari work. Let me show you a photograph. Then sophisticated leather goods, then high fashion garments, finely wrought metal work, delicate jewelry settings, then wood carvings and furniture that would find its way into the richest houses both in India and abroad. See, from this slum area, from this biggest slum of India and Asia, finest materials, so delicate ceramics and pottery, then very exquisite embroidery and jari work, then sophisticated leather goods, high fashion garments, finely wrought metal work, delicate jewelry setting, wood carving, furnitures. Okay, so these are manufactured, these are made in Dharavi, and these are selling to the richest houses in Maharashtra and in Mumbai and in different parts of India and in the different parts of the country. So it tells the importance of Dharavi, that the role of Dharavi in creating the wealth of this Bombay. Now let us see some photographs. See here. So this is the jari work, an example of jari work. This work is known as jari work. And see here, this is another photograph of jari work. High fashion garments. So this is also another example of jari work done in Dharavi. Then this is the leather work done in this Dharavi. Then here in the Dharavi, this very well crafted pottery, finely crafted pottery unit in Dharavi. It will be sold in these different parts of India. And here another leather work in Dharavi. And these are the leather products made in Dharavi. And then this is embroidery work. Yes. Tamko, how are you, dear? So this is the embroidery work in Dharavi. Then this is another embroidery work in Dharavi. Done in Dharavi. And okay, so these are the important these photographs showing the works done in Dharavi. So remember, slums, okay, without slums, big cities cannot be prosperous, because slum dwellers are providing services to the rich people. Okay, they are providing these physical services to the rich people. Okay, and they are also making different kinds of delicate things in this area and are selling to the rich people. So in this way, dwellers of Dharavi are creating the wealth of Mumbai city. Yes, Tongko, how any question?
No.
Okay, there was no presentation.
Yes.
Okay, then I will upload this video, okay, and you may watch it. And do you have any question?
No, sir. Yes.
Okay, then thank you for joining my class.